Hey, welcome to my channel. I already discussed about the Giants basically. Today it's more of a case where I'm going to discuss about the Knicks a little bit as well too. Quite honestly, this is a case where yes, should I be complaining as a Knicks fan? No, but because like the way they're playing right now, I shouldn't be complaining. But as a New Yorker, as a Knicks fan, Bet fan, Giant fan, Islanders fan, etc., you always find faults because you're waiting for the other shoe to drop essentially. This situation with the Knicks though is as good as they're playing right now. The question is like how they're winning. That's the concern basically. Like everyone's gonna say, it's like, hey man, you should be complaining because like you got Jalen Brunson, a superstar, a certified superstar. From a outsider, yeah, but I'm gonna still stand what I've been saying for the past 2 to 3 years basically. Jalen Brunson, he's definitely an all star. Let's be honest. He's definitely an all star. But he is not at that tier one superstar level. He's not there yet. Maybe a tier 1A, but not a tier one. Why do I say this again? Again, I'm going to revert back to basically I will start to believe it when I see it. Meaning, this is a guy that's got to put the team on his back and get him into the finals and even win the finals. But more so, just getting them to the finals. Because quite honestly, we have yet to see him get them to the finals. Because more so to the point where look at it this way. Clyde Drexler, back in the day, if you remember who Clyde Drexler was, everyone says he was a superstar. Was he? Well, he was able to keep the Trailblazers in the playoffs. He was definitely an all star and get him into the playoffs, but got him into the finals maybe those two times only. And in those two situations, he failed to deliver at that point. But then again, he was going against the Bulls, and of course, he was going against the Detroit Pistons at that time as well too. So I don't know if he was at superstar level, but I can't say that because quite honestly, he did bring him to the finals twice. So I can't say that he doesn't deserve that, but more so to the point where I want to say David Robinson because as good as he is, let's be honest, if Akeem Olajuwon was a U.S. citizen, he's the one that's playing on the dream team, not David Robinson. He's the one that's playing on the dream team. David Robinson was good, but he could never bring the Spurs to the finals. It's only when Tim Duncan came along did they start going to the finals. Tim Duncan, superstar. David Robinson, all star. So you can't call him a superstar. And this is the thing with Jalen Brunson. He is that all star, getting him into the playoffs. But until he can deliver on his back, get the team that win, I don't think I at least get him into the finals. Like if he could do what Clyde Drexler did, then yeah, I'll call him a superstar, tier one superstar. But right now he's not. The other aspect is like Karl Anthony Towns or Cat. I don't know if he's definitely in the past an all star. Is he an all star now? I don't know. He's not your number one option at this point right now, quite honestly. Let's be honest, he's not going to be your number one option. It's going to be Jalen Brunson, number one, and what is looking more and more like to be OG Anunoby. OG, God, I love him, man. This guy is like all out balling, basically, and this is a guy that can score too. This is a guy, if he gets injured, the team will lack at that point, and then at that point, this team will start losing. And we saw it year in and year out, basically. Every time he was injured, the team doesn't do really well at that point. Brunson tries to take it on his back at that point, but it's not enough. OG Anunoby is that guy. And the thing is like, I don't think we're showcasing him enough, quite honestly, because I think he should be your number two option, not Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns probably should be your number three option more than anything else. Kolchak, we'll see what happens. He's kind of reminding me a little bit of Reeves, but I think that's because there's a bunch of stars on the team that everyone's disregarding him, and that's why he's able to do what like it's like Rajon Rondo, right? Rajon Rondo, he looked pretty good, but without the superstars there, without Pierce, without Garnett, without Allen, does Rajon Rondo do really well? No. When he went to the Lakers, I mean, hell, without him, while he was there, he didn't really do that well. Kobe Bryant and Gasol were taking up everything for him basically at that point, as well as LeBron for the short period of time as well too. But reality is, Rajon Rondo was more of a role player, where because he was disregarded because they're focusing on the big three, he was able to get those shots, and that's where I think Kolchak is at this point as well too. But reality is again, I think more so to the point, Brunson is your tier 1A. I'll only going to start calling him a tier 1 once he gets him to the NBA Finals. Not conference finals, NBA Finals. If you can put them on his back and get to the NBA Finals, that'd be great. And this is the year. Remember, this has to be the year because, quite honestly, Indiana, they're probably going to get the number a top lottery pick. And if they do, with Halliburton coming back next year, as well as Tatum coming back next year as well, too, depending what the Celtics do. I mean, the Celtics are doing pretty well. It's quite surprising. I think everyone didn't expect the Celtics to do this good or hold their own, basically, at this point. And Detroit can only get better at this point. But in any situation, this is the next year. They have got to win it. They got to get to the finals this year because it's just like with the Knicks back in 94, basically, 94, 95. Once Jordan was out, that was the only time to win it. And unfortunately, they had the immovable object of Hakeem Olajuwon at that point. So this is a situation where the Knicks have to get into the finals this year. Question is, if they can get into the finals, that'd be great. But if they if they lose in the first round, it's the curse of the NBA Cup. But in any case, my biggest concern, now I didn't really watch all of the game last night against the Pelicans, but against the Pelicans and all the other teams that they've been playing for the past couple of days, it's the way they're winning. It's like they're barely winning. These are teams that they should be able to like flat out beat basically, and they're not. And it's like lucky wins here and there. And I'll take them, but at the same time, it's like concerns because like if this is a case where like they're nitty and gritty at that point, I don't know if that can be sustainable in the playoffs, and specifically in the finals at that point as well too, or conference finals if they make it to the conference finals. My only thing was looking at yesterday's game. Mikal Bridges is good. I'm not going to deny he's good. I mean, the intangibles that he brings to like a Josh Hart, the intangibles he brings is good. But the problem is like, I don't think he's still not the worth of 5 draft picks, 5 first round draft picks. 5 first round draft picks, specifically 4 uncontested and the 5th, conditional. But they're still all first round draft picks. I don't think he was worth it. Maybe two, at best 1 unconditional first round draft pick, and 1 conditional first round draft pick, but not 4, 5 basically. Let's be honest, he was not worth 5 draft picks, first round draft picks. Put it that way. Sorry. So the concern here is like I don't know what we do because unless Rose is seeing something that we're not seeing with Mikal Bridges, I still don't know the justification for that trade. Basically, I mean, again, he does have the intangibles, but at the same time, this is a guy that was one of the guys that was a vocal, very vocal about Tom Thibodeau's coaching style, basically. And I think because of that, they got rid of him and got Mike Brown in basically at that point. I mean, granted, he wasn't the only one. Chances are Cat Williams was the other person as well too, because Brunson and Hart were pretty much with Tibbs basically. If Randall was there, I think Randall would have been with Tibbs as well too, because quite honestly, Randall and Tibbs together brought the Knicks back to where they were, back to respectability. But my concern is like Mikal Bridges, he has yet to prove himself, and I have not seen it yet. I have not seen it. I don't know what everyone sees as why he's worth those trade for, because quite honestly, when the Nets traded for him, when they were trading away Durant to the Phoenix Suns, they wanted him in that as part of the package. Basically, they wanted him as part of the package, and I thought maybe they see something as more so the point like, and they were actually saying like he was the one they wanted him more than anyone else basically, and those draft picks. I mean, I think they would have disregarded everyone else except for those draft picks and him at that point. I'm not sure. And then at that point, I honestly, like I said, I have no idea. I honestly have no idea where Mikal Bridges fits into this because we have yet to see anything. It'd be interesting to see if DiVincenzo comes back to the Knicks. If he were to come back to the Knicks, how he would do. Problem is you're going to have to get rid of someone at that point. It would have to be Deuce McBride or Kolchak. One of those two would have to go at that point, and I don't want to see either one of them go. McBride maybe more so because while he was out and injured, the Knicks were doing pretty decent. I mean, honestly, and like he is that outside shooter and ball handler, but I think Kotek is a really good ball handler at this point as well too. So we could sacrifice one or the other basically. So I don't know. I know Minnesota is not going to get rid of DiVincenzo or trade him because like I think he's getting back up there again and like he's a great compliment to Anthony Edwards. Basically, he's definitely a great compliment to Edwards. Randall, like I said, we saw like how he had played with the Knicks. As good as he was, problem is like if he's having off nights, offensively, it would translate back to his defense as well too. He would be moping on the court and whatnot, basically, and like he wouldn't be doing really well. So it made sense for the Knicks to trade him at that point. But again, I don't know why we traded five first round draft picks for a guy is that is not even at an all star level. I honestly don't know unless Rose thinks that the Knicks won't have these first round draft picks will be really really low. It makes no sense. I mean, that draft capital could have been used to get Giannis. Honestly, that five draft picks could have been used to get Giannis. Quite honestly, and that's the surprising part. I mean, with Giannis and Jalen Brunson together, that would have been an unstoppable force right there. Their their probability of winning the finals would have shot up considerably at that point if Giannis were with the Knicks. But I don't know. It's a case where like now the Knicks have to get Rose has to get lucky and get when I mean lucky I mean he has to get lucky in the draft basically in the second rounds. He might have to if he can find another Mitchell in the low round. Well, Mitchell was actually a first rounder, so it won't work in that situation. If he can find another Brunson in the second round, because remember Brunson was a second round draft pick. If he can find another Brunson in the second rounds, we'd be fortunate. I mean, Mitch Robinson, unfortunately, he's going to go, and the guy's getting injured all the time, basically, so he's not going to last this long. If anything, maybe he could be trade bait for something else. But reality is, I mean, yeah, the Knicks. I put it this way: when he's out, Knicks are not going to do that well either, honestly. But they could still survive without him. But I don't think they're going to win the finals without him. They need him basically. Everyone that's on the team right now is integral to that piece. And if one of them goes out or one of them is injured, it affects the rest of the team at that point. So they don't have interchangeable parts, unfortunately. I mean, between Robinson and what was great was Hartenstein. Hartenstein would have been perfect if he was still with the team, but he's doing really well with Oklahoma. So more power to the guy, basically. If the Knicks can find someone, another big man, that'd be great. But it's going to be hard to do at that point. Outside of that, I can't say that I'm hating on the Knicks. I'm hoping they win the finals, just because they won the cup. It's great, but I don't think it means anything at this point. All it is just extra cash. It would be great if the winner of the cup gets an automatic playoff bid. Let's be honest. If they get an automatic playoff bid, that means hey, that's great. And if they already, like let's say have the best seed in the league, then I don't know what it does for that at that point. Honestly, that money is the only aspect, but it would be great if the cup also holds some clout, not only money wise, but holds some clout within the playoff system at that point as well too. That'd be great if it could hold up something in the playoff system. Let's say if you're a team that's on the out by winning the cup, you get an automatic playoff bid, meaning you bypass the play-in. You automatically in there, and the team that's last in the playoffs has to go in and do the play-in bid at that point. The play-in at that point. If you are in the play-in, again, pumped up into the playoffs automatically, and bring everyone back down. If you're in the middle of the tier, well then. Honestly, I would say this: if you win the NBA Cup, maybe you get bumped up, like a tier or two, basically. Like you don't have the number three, the best you can get is the number three spot in the playoffs at that point. If you're already between 4 through 8, basically. But in that situation, or 4 through 6, sorry, 4 through 6, you get an automatic number 3 spot. I don't think you deserve the number. I mean, it'd be good if you get the number 2. Actually, that could make sense if you get the number 2 spot. I don't know if you get the automatic number 2 spot, because you can't kick the number 1 seed basically, because number 1 seed goes to the best record basically, and the number 2 seed. Honestly, the number 2 seed, they should have won the cup at that point as well too. The only question is if you already on the number 1 seed and won the cup, what else guarantees you get at that point? That's the problem. I don't know where that comes into play, but reality that gives more more effort into getting the cup and winning the cup at that point as well too. It's like, hey, if we get an automatic playoff bid, boom, let's do it. Basically, I'm like, hey, you don't have to worry about that. You could just like kind of slack off a little bit, and like I don't want to say slack off, but it does give you that ability to like kind of ease out a little bit, and full well that you got an automatic bid that you don't have to worry at that point. But anyways, with that, I'll leave it at that. I've talked a little bit too much longer than I normally do about the Knicks, but it's just one of those things where I'm concerned that it's leading up to a lot of things, and it's leading up to massive disappointment at the end of the year or end of the season. That's what I'm afraid of. This is what's going to lead up to the end, massive disappointment. And then if I have a feeling, it's probably because it's probably going to be because of injuries, as well as the fact is like I have a feeling Mikal Bridges is also going to be kind of looked at as one of the reasons why the Knicks cannot get into the finals. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts about the Knicks. I'd love to hear it as well too. And if put it in the comment section, let me know what you think. I do read all my comments and I do respond to them with the warrant or response, specifically within the context of the video itself. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, of course, as always, unrehearsed. Until next time.